Ready, ready.
Ready.
Hey guys, we're live today. This is Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is Rev Resales and Nikki T. You guys want to introduce yourselves in case people don't know who you are?
Let you go first.
Hi, I'm Nikki T. I'm Rev's better half.
Hey man, my prime rib.
I sell on Macari, and I've only been selling on Macari for a couple months, since about June, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. And I'm David. I go by Rev here on YouTube. I've had the channel now for probably a year and a half, and I sell only on eBay, and I have two eBay stores. Just one's a regular Rev Resale store, and then I have one called the Baptist Lottery Ticket where I sell just trading cards. So and that's sort of what we do.
And so if I understand it correctly, you're a full-time pastor and part-time reseller, right?
Yeah, I say a full-time pastor and a fun-time reseller. So when we always have extra time, and but when it's fun, I like to resell. So if it gets where it's turns into work, and it really has. There was a season there that it had turned into so much work it was like a second job, and I had to pull back because ministry is most important to me, and we don't want anything to get in the way of that. YouTube is just something we do on the side that we enjoy, and we've got a community here that we really enjoy communicating with. So it's fun time as well. So That's why we call it fun time.
Yeah, I was watching your video, I think it was a week ago, and you were talking about, are you blessed of being a reseller? And I was like, man, I'm going to tune in and check this guy out. And I have two eBay stores as well. My main eBay store, I mainly sell video games, DVDs, Blu-rays, things like that. And then my second eBay store, I just put miscellaneous items in there. So that's kind of the idea, is you want to kind of build a brand so you have repeat customers come back to your eBay store. Rev, I'm going to catch some of the guys in the chat. We have a bearded veteran here today. We got Greg from Rocky Mountain Resellers. He says, hey, Rev, hey, Nikki T, and we got a Kentucky fan. So you want to catch people up on anything that we missed over the weekend? What were you guys up to over the weekend, and how was your weekend sales?
Actually, we took off Thursday evening, and we headed to Alabama, to Center, Alabama. A lot of people, I don't know who all know in here knows Redneck Resale, Colton and Courtney. We met up with them and OSP, Old School Picker, OBX, Smoking Flips, and Papa Sticks Treasures, and we all hit the 411 yard sale.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
Yeah, we tried to go from Gadsden. We didn't make it to Gadsden and Center, Alabama, where we were, and we went to the what was the last one we went to?
127.
Yeah, went to the 127 in Tennessee, the same group. And I had a great time. So this time we don't really expect to go and buy a lot of stuff at these. Some people go fill up automobiles, but we didn't really expect that. We went for the food and the fellowship, and anything we found at the yard sale was good. And we found some baseball gloves and some video games, but nothing, no home runs. But we had a great time getting to see some of the community and have an opportunity of hanging out with some cool people.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a good time. We had ObxPicker on the channel a couple weeks ago. He's a nice guy.
Oh, no doubt. Eric's one of a kind.
Yeah. That whole group is they're genuine people. They're just good people.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to catch some people in the chat. American Made, we got Philly Picker here. He says, what's up, everyone? Hey, Nikki T and Rev. You know Joe, right, from Philly Picker?
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys had a good time. You went out yard selling over the weekend, right?
Yeah, we just really hit most of the yard sales on Friday, and then we went out and ate Brandon Smoking Flips. I don't know if we talked about him. He cooked for us, so we had barbecue Friday night, and then we hit some yard sales on the way home on Saturday. We did good, had a good time. So it's that's one of our date. We try to what do we say? Dialogue daily, date once a week, depart once a quarter. So just about every weekend, that's our date. We head out to yard sales and just enjoy ourselves on Saturday.
Awesome. So let me ask you guys, how has your eBay sales been this year with everything that's going on with the lockdown? How did it go? Because a lot of people, it was like flatline, and then it went up, and then it went back down. So did you guys have something similar? How has your sales been this year?
Yes, right at the beginning of COVID, it seemed like it was a Q4. I mean, the sales just went, I mean, it just skyrocketed for us. We had trading cards, those sales went. And of course, it gave us more time to be at home and listing. So, of course, when the sales were going up, we were listing. So, we were listing more, sales were moving. And then you're right, it sort of plateaued. And I'll be honest, I think it burned us out because we were in the house, we were listing, we were, shipping out items. And it sort of, so my listing has really dropped. We did a 21-day eBay listing challenge. And I did a YouTube video every day for 21 days and tried to do 21 listings. Tried to average 10. I said 10 a day, but I tried to do 21 a day, and it literally burned me out. I mean, I was just, like I say, it turned into a job. So we've stepped back a little bit. We're still making a sale, probably 5 or 6 sales every day. I think I had 7 that we shipped out today. And you had 3 we shipped out. And then, I had more than that because I had the trading cards, had 6 trading cards. Yeah. So I think we had 12 items to ship out today, and Nikki T had 4. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I can tell that you guys enjoy reselling and you enjoy your YouTube channel. I'm going to catch some questions in the chat, guys. So we're live. If you have questions, drop it in the chat. I'm going to catch a couple of them. Cool. Greg says, Rev, what has been your most profitable flip to date? So out of all the items that you've sold, what's been your most profitable item that you've flipped so far?
No doubt our most profitable item, or my most profitable item, was really probably within the first month of reselling. I have a place that I call the Honey Hole, and I went in and was just scanning items. I'd watched Lonnie and watched all the other resellers, and they said, make sure you comp your items. And I scanned a Mentadent. It was a toothpaste, just a box of Mentadent toothpaste, and it had the pump and 2 refills in it. And when I scanned it, it was like $89, $79 to $99. And I thought that's got to be for a case of these rascals. And it wasn't. And I bought that day, I think I ended up buying over a 2 or 3 day period, 134 of those for about $2 a piece. So on that, I probably made about $8,000 profit off toothpaste. So
wow.
That is on.
That's on the shelf of fame.
I don't know if you can see. That's Mentadent, right?
In that blue and white looking box.
Oh, yeah?
Right there.
I see it. I saw it. I would have never have thought to sell toothpaste. You got me, Rev. You got me.
Yeah, well, hey, I never would have thought it either. It was just the Honey Hole had it, and I scanned it, and I found it, and I was utterly surprised but very much pleased. Yeah. We don't hit home runs like that often, but when we hit them, it's really good.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it comes in handy for sure. Greg asks, he says, Nikki T, how many listings do you have on your Macari, and how many solds have you done so far? So how is your sales on Macari, Beb?
I have right close to 300 listings, and I have, as of right now, 45 sales, I think, with the ones that have just come in recently.
And of course, she just started, so there's certain things that probably she would tweak now, just like all of us when we start on a platform. You kind of find out what sells and what doesn't. So I think there's probably some things that were listed that maybe you wouldn't or would.
I actually went back and I had purchased a lot from another reseller. They were having an auction, and they had a jewelry lot that I purchased for really cheap, and I listed several pieces on there. And I realized they weren't really moving like they were. So I've actually pulled some of my listings down. And now I've got that for sale as like a jewelry jar type deal. And to see how that will sell. I had a movie lot that I actually had divided up some movies. And I put those together as a lot for their horror movies. So I'm hoping this time of year they'll actually move out the door, putting them together versus trying to sell individual items. So I'm learning what works, what doesn't work, what sells, and what Macari isn't very popular. So
All
I've
right,
had some items that surprise me that sell that I would never have thought would have sold, but they do.
All right. Well, yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. So thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Lone Star says, hello, Nikki and Rev. This family has their priorities set straight, being blessed and likely a reseller who is aware of their gratitude, opportunities, and mindful of expectations and their communities.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to catch Greg has another question. He says, hey, Nikki, how has school been for you having to deal with COVID, and have you had to put reselling on the back burner?
School has been different. I am now back in the building, which I am in person with some of the classes, but most of the day I'm virtual. So, and of course, everybody has to wear a mask. Hand washing is a thing all day long. As for reselling, it's not really on the back burner. I'm still trying to do as much what I purchased recently. I try to go ahead and list. I do have a few items I am behind on getting listed. So I guess in that way, school has kind of put me off my schedule.
She's like the listing queen, and I'm like the listing dud. I've got things from last year I haven't listed yet, and she's still got stuff this weekend she hasn't listed.
Yeah, I don't usually have a death pile, as everybody calls it. I like to buy and list and just be done with it. So I have, I think, 5 items I still need to list, and then my pile's gone. So.
Yeah, I'm with you, Nikki T. I'm an eBay nerd here, and so as soon as I get the items in, I list them. I think I'm right around 3,500 items so far this year, and I'm trying to get the 10,000 items listed. So that way, I have been doing earlier this year, I was doing about $750, $800 a week in sales. And the idea is if I can multiply my listings by 3, I would like to multiply my sales by 3. Yeah. I would love to get around $1,800 to $2,000 a week in sales coming in and still be able to work my full-time job and have another eBay store on the side. So it definitely adds up. I'm going to catch this question in the chat. It was Wendy. She said, what is your most usual item that you buy to resell? What has been your best find on 411? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Wendy. We appreciate you.
I'll take the unusual one first. We
ahead.
bought some vintage underwear, and they were men's bikini cut underwear. I never would have thought they would have sold. I did not model them. I did not test them out, but they sold. I think it was $120 for 3 packs of 3. So for 9 pair of underwear, it was $140.
That was the big lesson learned from Matt at Part-Time Pickers. To vintage underwear sells,
or vintage anything sells, but vintage clothing really sells. And this was a brand that I really wasn't, it was like,
I forget, it's like some
Britannia, I think. And it was, so if you ever find any bikini underwear, Jeff, you can go and.
But they were from the 80s, still sealed.
Yep.
And one person purchased all 3 packs for like $130. So
well, you know what's crazy about eBay is the stuff that you think won't sell is the stuff that sells, and the stuff you think will sell on the shelf, and a month later you're like, I know I listed that. Why hasn't it sold yet? And it's always the rare items that they don't make anymore is the ones that will just out of the blue will just sell, and when you least expect it. But it's nice, you wake up and you have, like you said, 5 or 6 sales a day. And you just wake up and you just have some sales on your app.
That's right.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything.
I think she asked what was your best find of the 411. I think we found a catcher's mitt. It's we didn't pay much for it. I think $4 or $5, and it'll probably sell for $50. So not really a home run, but if you could, if you could find 50 of those a day, you'd be rich. So I'm pleased with that sale. Looks like ObxPicker's in the house.
Yeah. Greg says, great guest today, Jeff. 2 very genuine people. We'll catch the rest of the interview later. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, Greg. And ObxPicker, we were just talking about you today. Yeah. We were just talking about you, and he showed up. We were just saying it. Yeah, they were just saying that OBX has said he's one of a kind guy. That's what they said. Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yep. And Wendy says, I remember that sale. I would have thought you would have said the gum, Rev. So Go ahead. I'm going to catch Lone Star Picker's question. He says, question, what has been the biggest challenge that you all have observed, recognized changes that you plan to improve, what would benefit your business model and aspect as a reseller? Please explain your goal.
Oh, I'll go back to Wendy first. Wendy, you're right. The chewing gum has been pretty awesome too. We were at the same place. We bought a big lot of juicy fruit chewing gum. And actually, when I was cleaning out the eBay garage today, I found 2 more boxes. So I've just updated the listing. I thought I'd sold out, but I did have 2 more boxes. So and it all sold. I mean, it didn't sell for big money, but eBay Addicts, it was kind of like what you were talking about. When you have something that's replenishable or something you have a large quantity on, you really don't have to make a large amount on every item, but you can make a large amount if you have 200 like we had. So that has been good. And I guess back to Louis' question, the biggest challenge that we would recognize and change and plans to improve. Mine would just be being more consistent. I've sort of taken probably a couple of months where I have put eBay not on the back burner but on the counter, and I've made sales. I've listed some, but I've not been grinding. I have not been doing that as much as I should, and I think that's my plan going forward is just getting consistent listings up every day.
Mine, I think, is really I need to kind of broaden what I sell. I kind of I have this little niche I've kind of tucked myself into. And I think I could do better and do more if I broaden my reselling niche, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of clothes. I've got shoes. I do toys. But there's just certain things I don't know a lot about. And I guess I really need to learn more. I need to focus on learning more about what does well.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I think a goal of mine, I hit 30K over 90 days, I guess about 8 months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I would like to get back to that goal and sort of maintain it. It was a lot of work, but so a couple of my sources kind of have dried up, and I would like to find a few more places to source where I could have some consistent inventory coming in. So for everyone, I think that's what we're always out looking for is a new source, a new item to sell.
And OBX, I think you're right. That was a good find.
That may have been the best find was the barbecue.
Barbecue was good.
All right. Hey, so I just I'm a new subscriber to your channel. I subscribed recently. So can you tell us a little bit about your backstory of where you 2 guys first met at and how long have you guys been married now?
Oh, wow. Okay. We met it's been over 20 years ago.
Met in a parking lot.
Of where I worked. I worked at Belk.
She was going to get a Snicker bar, and I had a craving for a Snicker bar as well. If that's where she was going, that's where I was going.
I get to see that Snicker bar commercial where it's like, need a minute? And you do that, and you go grab one, right?
That's exactly right.
We met 20 years ago. We've been married 17 years.
Have 2 kids, JC and Reagan.
Yep. Both in middle school now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, been fun.
Yeah.
Been a honeymoon ever since.
So it's like
about that for. That was serious.
So it was like love at first sight. So you guys first met each other. You just introduced yourself, right? And then from that point on, you all have been together ever since, or how did that go?
My best friend was dating his best friend at the time.
And we didn't, just for a few days, not for a long time.
And we I stayed after work that night to hang out with her, and he was actually riding with her boyfriend to come see her, and we met through them that night.
She thought I was an old dude. I had the Fu Manchu then. She just thought I was old. But yeah. I guess she liked older men.
I was still in high school. I was actually going into my senior year of high school when I met him.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's been a love story ever since.
All right. That's awesome. So how long have you been a pastor now, and how long did you have to go to Bible college for a long time to be a pastor? Can you explain how all that came about? I'm just interested. My father was a pastor when I was a kid. That's why I'm asking. Cool. I'm just trying to get some information.
Yeah, the church that we're at now, I started, never did attend church as a kid. My folks didn't attend church. I started attending the church that I'm at now when I was 16 years old. I was baptized at 17 years old, and felt early on, I felt the call into ministry. I played baseball in high school, and I wanted to play baseball in college, so I tried that in secular college. 2 years in, I tore my rotator cuff, and at that point, I decided really the Lord was kind of directing my path that I needed to be in Bible college. I left Georgia Southern and went to Bible college, and that was the summer I met Nikki T. And I finished Bible college. We started pastoring a church in South Georgia in 2004, so 16 years ago. Yeah. We'd just been married just about 6 to 8 months, yeah. And we pastored a couple churches in South Georgia. Then we went to Alaska for a year and a half, and really? The only pastor I ever had passed away in January 1st, 2017. Yeah. We came back here and preached a funeral, and this is our home church. And they just wouldn't take no for an answer. So we've been back here at our home church for the last
3 years.
Yeah, the last 3 years. And I went to, while I was serving a church, I finished my undergraduate degree at Liberty University. And I got my Master's of Divinity at Liberty, at the Liberty Baptist Theological Seminary. While I was pastoring. So we did kind of both of those things. Had a family, worked a full-time job while I was finishing seminary. I would like to go finish my doctorate degree, but that hadn't happened yet.
I told him I'm not calling him doctor.
Dr. D.
I just couldn't imagine you guys living up in Alaska. That would be freezing your butt off year-round. Like, they got so much snow up there, it'd be crazy.
We were... we live in Georgia, and I grew up here as a Georgia boy, and we were in Alaska, and it got negative 37 for 3 nights in a row. That was cold.
Yeah.
No doubt. But we loved Alaska. It was like a playground, great people. We loved the church we served there. But the Lord kind of pointed back home in this direction, and we came home.
Yep.
Yeah, Lone Star Picker, he says, the Spirit led you to Nikki T.
There is no doubt the Spirit led me to Nikki T and my hunger for Snicker bars.
Right. We want that to be known. So I'm just curious, how long have you guys been reselling now, and what got you started into reselling?
Oh gosh.
Well, I guess for me it started, of course, I have another YouTube channel called Restoration. We started about a month and a half ago, and really that started before reselling started. I love working on old automobiles, and I didn't have the funds to buy the whole car. So what I did is I started purchasing just the carburetors off old Fords, and I would restore those, get them back to genuine quality, and I would sell those on eBay, and I would sell 3 or 4 a week and make good money doing that. But it was just so much work to rebuild the carburetors. And I saw someone, I saw Resale Rabbit, then I saw Lonnie on Shed Flips, Garage Flips, and kind of got into the circle of people that are doing what we do, just going and finding stuff and selling it on eBay. And within the last 3 years, since we have been back home, we've started reselling in that manner, and it has just been it's been great. So I have been doing this type of reselling probably for 2.5 years. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to catch the question in the chat. Wendy says, "How is your restoration going?" A pudding. I don't know what that is. You got to explain.
Well, pudding is my 1968 Ford F100, and when I first started restoring it, it was at my dad's what we call our family graveyard of cars. And when I got it running, cranked it up, but I never checked the oil, and it had water in the oil. And when I drained the oil, it looked like pudding when it came out. So that's where the name came, pudding. Yeah, but pudding's on the road. Pudding's doing really well. I've got a lot of work that I've left to do, and that's what I'm doing on the other channel, is just bringing it back to life. We got it from sitting for the last 17 years, and now it's running good. We're working on the body and just enjoying that, doing that on the side as well.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel, and when did you guys get started making YouTube videos, and how has that been? I think I looked today, and you guys were at like 1,800 subscribers.
Yeah.
been what, a little over a year?
Yeah,
now?
year and a half, about a year and a half that we have been doing it. It really just started, and this sounds. I don't mean for this to sound negative towards anyone, but I saw people like Lonnie and all these others that were doing YouTube channels and doing these videos. And I thought, well, why can't I do that? I mean, we're doing the same exact thing. We've got similar content. I go to yard sales, I go sourcing, and I sell stuff on eBay. So basically, I just pulled the camera out and just started. And it was slow going. Of course, we all learn a lot. When probably the first 30 videos, you get a YouTube education. And like I think like you, 8 or 9 months it took us to get to 1,000. We had some big shout outs and some cool people that we met along the way that have encouraged our channel. And we haven't been putting as much content out as we once were, but we plan on sort of when the eBay game begins to kick off again, we're hoping to put out a lot more content like we once were.
Yeah, it definitely brought me out of my shell, because when he first started, I didn't want much to do with the camera.
Oh, yeah. When I'm not filming YouTube videos, I'm kind of a homebody. I'm kind of an introverted person. So I can just sit at home for a week and just stay home and list items. And I'm totally cool with it. Like, I'm fine with it. But at the same time, people was like, wait a minute, you need to put out videos. I'm like, all right, I'll do that too. So, but yeah, I'm with you. When I'm not working or I'm not, making YouTube videos, I'm totally like an introverted type of person. I could just be totally cool. I have my AC cranked up in my room to about 65 degrees. I have some music playing, and I can just crank out some listings because, that's kind of the way, that's the way it is. You need to list more items to make more sales. Lone Star Picker, he says, how is balancing both YouTube channels been?
Yeah, I think both of the channels, both the reselling channel and the restoration channel, where I'm restoring the truck and doing other car type stuff. The content comes when the content is made. Recently, I haven't had time really to work on the automobile, so there's nothing really in the works. So having to force yourself to find something to make that content. So I think that channel, unless Nikki T allows me to buy about 3 or 4 other automobiles to restore, that channel may, it may be harder to create content. But balancing the channels, I want to have, I think the goal that we set last Wednesday is that I want to have, 2 pre-recorded videos each week, and our live that we do on Wednesday night at 9 on the Rev Resale channel. That is our goal there. And then whatever else we do on the restoration channel, we really don't have a goal. So it's coming along well, but we really want to focus on this channel.
I think it's been a learning curve, learning how to balance the 2 channels.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it just takes time. You'll get there. I think my goal for YouTube was just to hit 1,000 subscribers. That's it. I didn't have any other plans or any other goals. I'm just going to work at it and be consistent. And then over time, you'll get there. You just got to put the work in, Right. So it's like I see some. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I see some of these guys like Cincinnati Picker or Rally Roots and some of those guys that have 100,000 subscribers. And I'm like, let's just work with what you got. What did it say? Yeah. Be faithful over a few and it'll multiply. If that's, that's what you have, you just got to work with what you got and go from there. So
each of those guys started at 0, just like we did.
Yeah, everybody does. So you just got to put your time in. I mean, if somebody's been doing it for 5 years and you started 6 months ago, you're not going to get the same results. You just gotta put the work in. I think it's almost like when you're a new. It's almost like when you're a new hire and you get a new hire at this company and somebody else has been there for 10 years, they got 10 years seniority and you're a new hire. So you just gotta earn your stripes. You just gotta put the time in and you'll get there. So I was gonna ask you a question. What is your plan for ramping up for Q4? Because we just hit Q4 now. Do you guys have any plans working towards that as far as your Q4 plans for your YouTube channel?
Definitely source and list.
Yeah, I think listing I have behind me, I probably have 3 boxes of trading cards that I need to list. And the trading cards, they sell. It's amazing. They sell very, very fast. So I think if I list, probably if I listed 10 cards today, 5 of those cards would sell between today and tomorrow. That's just how it works with the cards, at least the ones that we have. And I have probably 500 items that I need to list on the channel or on our regular eBay store. So that is my goal, is just to source the best stuff and to list everything that we have. And I know if that happens, I'm always hovering around 500 listings. Even when I had, 30K over 90 days, my listings were always hovering anywhere from 450 to 550. And so that's sort of the sweet spot for our channel, for our store. So I'd like to get back. I'm right at 400 now. So I would like to list probably 150 items. And if I list those, I'm sure I'm going to sell, that I'm going to sell 50 of those items. So just keep listing.
Yeah, so Rev, I saw your video a couple weeks ago where you did that private pick and you got those video games from that guy. Did you guys get all those games listed or no?
No, that's I probably have. I probably
no.
I said 500 items. I probably have 300 video games that I need to list. Now, some of these are really, really good, $30, $40, $50 games. Some of them are pickles. But I probably could list all of those games in one setting just because I'm going to lot a lot of them up and get it done. So I need to I need to do that.
I'm going to go sourcing in Rev's death pile. That's where it's going to end up. It's going to end up on Macari.
All right. Well, video games aren't really that hard. You just scan the barcode and you can take a picture front and back and list them. It goes pretty quick. I have a lot of video games. I have a lot of items listed that have barcodes because it's a lot quicker and easier to list. So that's what I'm trying to look for. So Rev, tell me how has everything been going for you as far as your reselling goes, and give us some tips, some advice. You said that you were doing about $10,000 a month in sales gross, right? If somebody else, let's say if somebody's new reselling or someone's doing, let's say they're doing $1,000, $2,000 a month in sales on eBay and they're trying to get to 10,000, what kind of advice would you give? Do you have 3 or 4 tips of advice you could give somebody to help them out?
Yeah, for me, and now remember, I'm full-time pastor, so that is my job. So what I did is I focused on items that I could buy more than one of. So where I could have one listing that may have 500 items on it, and those items would sell. So for me, they were easy to store. Items that are easy to store, easy to ship, and easy to list are the ones that I would look to. And those that would sell on the channel, that our main channel, I try to have it to sell $10 or $12 and above. So those items would be the ones that I would find. I have a couple of really good sources here in town that I call the honey hole. They sort of dried up lately, but what they do is they buy pallets of either chef pools from department stores and drug stores, pharmacies, and those type items. Some of those can sell. I can get them for $1 or $2, and they'll sell $40 and $50 a piece. So that's really where the 30K over 90 days came, is that I was able to find a lot of those products that I may have 50 listings that I'm going to be getting over 50% of my sales from. So that to me is the way. That was my model. My model was not to find $1,000 items. I would like to if I could, but source the area that you have. Source what you can find, and no matter what it is. I'm an ugly dude, but I sell a lot of health and beauty. And I don't know anything about health and beauty items, but all I have to do is scan it and see if it sells. Yeah. And if it sells, I list it. And so that was my model, and it still is. And I just enjoy trading cards. So because I enjoy trading cards, I sell that to video games as well.
I think one thing that he said in there that is consistent listing too. I think that, and I think Macari is a lot like eBay in that. I think the more you list, the more your items are pushed, the more people see your stuff. I mean, listing is a huge, I would tell any new reseller, just be consistent in your listing. Yeah. And be competitive. I mean, yeah, there's some items I think we've noticed that you really can't find. So you might be able to set the market, but then you have that item, there's that price range. So, be competitive, don't sell it for the low, but be competitive in your prices.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Cajun Roots Reseller, he says, Nikki T, I love your hairstyle.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you, Cajun. This is just
Johnny, I thought you were talking about mine. I'm offended now, Johnny.
This is
Well, we
got
can
home from work and threw it up in a messy bun and
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit, when you're outsourcing, you said you were getting stuff like from pallets and from like liquidators. Can you explain a little bit about how your honey hole, your sourcing is? You don't have to give up your source, but just explain how you go looking for it, merchandise.
Yeah, they actually have one section. They have a storefront in our community, and they have probably 80% of their warehouse is closed off, and the rest they just bring it out and put it on a shelf. So just anybody can go in and buy these items for $2 and $3 a piece, and most of them are not resellers. So what happens is when I go in, there are times that I'll go in and on the shelf they'll have 10 of one item that I'll want. So they know me. So I just ask, hey, do y'all have any more of these in the back? And a lot of times they'll say, yeah, do you want them? And there have been times that I went back and bought pallets full of one item. And it usually fills our garage up when that happens. But usually those are items that I know are going to sell fast or items that sell for high profit. And so that's really the way that it works. And then we source at yard sales. We do a little bit of sourcing on Facebook Marketplace. But I think the best items are those multi-quantity. For us, those multi-quantity listings, if I could have all multi-quantity listings, that would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Cajun, he says, yes, I agree. I just said 1,181 items listed on my eBay store, still listed every day. He says, Rev, I like your hairstyle too.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I love these guys. I'm listening to these, to those of y'all that have so many listings. And I probably, if I listed everything that I have, I probably would have 1,000 listings as well. But I don't know why. From the time probably 6 months in, I got to about the 500 mark in listings, and it's just sort of been the sweet spot. I mean, I haven't had a day outside of the 3 days recently that I had the store shut down. I haven't had any day since I've started that I hadn't made a sale. So there have been at least a sale a day for about 500 days now. So
well, Rev, the thing is, you're a full-time pastor. You have to take care of your family. You're a parent. I mean, you have other stuff going on. So it's not like you can just sit in your room, close the door, and just list 10 hours a day. You have other things going on. So it's not like you can just close the door, close the shades, and put "Do Not Disturb" sign and just go list like crazy. You have to have a little bit of a balance.
Yeah, balance in our life is really, really important. That's one of the things that we have to set standards and set rules and stick to them. And that's why I say that YouTube and Restoration, this channel, Restoration and Reselling, and is all fun time. So when the time is available, because at any minute, if I get a call or somebody needs me, I have to drop everything I'm doing and go. And that's been our life for the last 17 years of full-time ministry. And we're good at it. I mean, that's just, we're used to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is that's just a part of it. And that's what's so cool about eBay, is because when there's time, I can do it. If it's 10 o'clock at night and I want to list some, I can. It's not only a 9 to 5 that I can only do during that time. I can list when I have time to list, and eBay's always there 24/7, 365. So that's why I love reselling.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I like to do my listing at night. It's like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. No one calls me. No one's texting me. Nobody needs anything. And I'm kind of a night owl anyways. And I'll just go in my room, crank the AC up, listen to some music. I got me a stack of merchandise that I need to list. And I just go to town and go listing. I try to list every day. Right now, my goal is to list 100 items a day. That's what I try to do. But like I said, it's all easy stuff because it all has barcodes. So think about it like I had filmed a video today. I bought 80 DVDs for $47. So I paid like 58 cents a piece. So when I go home today, it doesn't take much. I just scan the barcode. A lot of times I'll just use the box art that's already there because it's brand new in the shrink wrap. And then hit sell similar, type the price in, and then boom, it's uploaded. So it's like it's not that hard, especially when you just pull it over, scan the barcode, and then you're good to go. So, but yeah, you just got to get into the groove and just gotta do it. That's the thing. You just got to do it. But eBay, like you said, is nice. You kind of make up your own work schedule, and as long as you get your items listed and you handle your customer service and you do shipping, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the way we have. I have set time every day that we always do it around. I do my shipping later. Our post office closes at 4:30. So right around anywhere from 2:30 to 3:30 every day after lunch, all the morning is church stuff. And then in the afternoon, I'll come and get all the packages packed and out. And I normally list in the afternoons as well. After I get back from that, I got a little bit of a window that we can get some listing done. And that's when I do my listing.
All right. So I got kind of a weird question. Has anybody really recognized you when you're out sourcing, you're out in public? Has anybody recognized you and said, hey, that's Rev Resale and Nikki T? Like, did anybody recognize you out when you're out in public or no?
Well, you mentioned that you saw the video. We did have one here in our town. There was a guy had some video games and said he was doing a yard sale over the weekend. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to the yard sale. So I messaged him. And I got that famous question that we all get. The person in the Facebook message said, are you a reseller? And at that point, I had the opportunity that I could have just flat out lied and said, oh, no, I'm doing this because I like video games. But, of course, I couldn't. I couldn't lie, and I'm glad I didn't. I told him, I said, no, man, I'm a reseller. I said, I'm probably going to resell these if I can get it. And then right after that, he said, you would happen to be Rev Resale, would you? And I was like, whoa. That was like the it moment that I finally had hit it, that somebody recognized me. But I was able to buy all the games from him. Not all of them, but a great majority of them. We had just a great time meeting him. But it's happened a few times, and so it's pretty neat when it does.
It's weird.
Yeah. I had something happen to me. I was at eBay up front this year in Tampa. They had like a little get together, and I was talking to these people, and somebody says, your voice sounds familiar. And they were like, you're not eBay addicts, are you? I was like, yeah, I am. And they were like, oh, I watch videos. And it was kind of awkward because I didn't know what to say because I never met these people. They knew who I was. And I was just, I just shook their hand and said, nice to meet you, but it was a little bit awkward, but it wasn't nothing. I mean, they weren't like, hey, let me get a photo with you or anything. They were just like, hey, I think I've watched your videos. I think I recognize your voice. I was like, yeah, that's me. So that's always, cool. That's always nice. Wendy says eBay addicts, you should have a challenge with ObxPicker. He does 80 listings on Tuesdays. You both are impressive. Yeah, well, the thing is, ObxPicker, he does a variety of items. I kind of stick to items with barcodes, and my goal this year is I would like to get 10,000 items listed. So that's why I'm pushing so hard, because see, what happens is eBay changes the rules this year. So now if you have items that are in the select categories, I have a bunch of items that are like DVDs, Blu-rays, video games. If you have items that are in that select categories, eBay gives you 10,000 free listings with the basic store. So my goal is I want to see if I can max out my 10,000 free listings in the basic store, but it's only in the select category. So, ObxPicker, I've had him on my channel before. Eric's a nice guy, but like I said, it wouldn't be fair to him because, like I said, I have a bunch of all my items have barcodes. So I can list probably 100 items in an hour or two, because all of them have barcodes, and I do it every single day. So, but yeah, I'm happy for ObxPicker. It's just that I work 7 days a week at my job for a courier company. So some days I only do 75, 80. Some days I do 50. And then I have some days where maybe I do 50 one day and then I do 150 the next. Because you gotta keep it. You got to keep the algorithm active on the eBay system, or your sales will start to decline a little bit.
That's awesome.
Cajun says, I never look at eBay as a job because it's always an adventure every day.
It is. I have learned so much about, to me, I like to say on the channel that I really have enjoyed eBay because I see value in things that I didn't see value in before. I would have walked over certain things now that I would fall down to try to find, that it's just awesome. So it's been good. I didn't, no way would I have thought somebody would pay $100 for toothpaste, but there are people out there that do that, and because of eBay now I know that.
I've even gotten him where he would never buy clothes. He
Never.
does not do clothes.
Oh.
But ever since I started Macari and I've purchased a few things, there's certain labels, like one for instance, Lily Pulitzer. Lily Pulitzer sells, and it sells well, and it sells for good money. I started picking some up at the garage sale, and he kind of thought I was crazy. He was like, "What are you doing with that?" And I'm like, the first item I picked up with her name on it, and I literally only had it listed 5 minutes. It was gone, sold, out the door. I picked up some other pieces, sold, gone, out the door. So he's even picked up some clothing items.
Yeah, I'm not real big on clothing items. I have sold clothing in the past. I used to get Levi's blue jeans before they raised the prices up. You could get them for about $2 a pair, and then I would sell them on eBay for $20-$25 a pair, and then put them in a padded envelope, have the customer pay shipping, and it worked out well for a while. And like I said, it's just the problem is a lot of these resale stores, they start raising the prices up, and it cuts into your profit margin. So
That's right.
I mean, I kind of stick into my niche about one little area, but as I talked to you guys before the show started, I recently started looking into doing, looking for resellable items, items that are what is the term again? Not where you can just restock the shelves. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, replenishable items. Yeah, so kind of been looking, kind of like how you said you were buying a whole pallet of merchandise. So that's kind of my new little side project I started the past couple of weeks, is going to the Dollar Tree, looking for items that I could buy for $1, maybe sell for 10 or 12 bucks. And then whenever the item sells, you only have to list the item once, right? And then whenever it sells, it just sells over and over and over again. So I'm trying to find items that are small, that can fit in this 6x9 padded envelope. This past week, I started selling like beach balls, like little splash toys and stuff, like a little shark or a fish or whatever. And we had some of those little armband things. But I think here this next week, I'm going to try to see if I can find like some soap or just different items that's not going to be really heavy to ship, that's small, that I can fit in this envelope. And so the idea is, if you do, let's say you go in there once a week and you buy 10 items every week, right? Well, at the end of the year, you're going to have 400 or 500 items that are replenishable items in your store that sell every day. It would be nice if you could make 50 or 100 bucks a day just selling replenishable items. So that's what I've been up to on my second eBay store. I'm going to see if I missed any questions in the chat. It says, Rev, never doubted you. And Nikki, you are becoming a better e-com reseller than David. You got this.
She is already. She looks a whole lot better than me, most certainly. So, hey, I'm getting the brownie points in.
Well, Nikki, the thing is, believe it or not, before I met you guys, I used to run into Nikki a lot in the live stream. So
she's everywhere.
She knows a whole lot of stuff, because I know, because I run into her a lot. We'll be in the live stream chat and I'll run into them and they're like, shout out Nikki T. I'm like, I recognize that name. So it's like we run into each other all the time on the live streams and stuff,
I love this community. I love the reseller. It's just an amazing group of people. And I mean, we talked earlier about, people watching videos and this and that with us. And it still humbles me and amazes me that we have as many people that watch and hang out with us as we do. I mean, it's just an amazing group of people. So I love being there. I hate that I can't be as much right now because of work, but I love this community.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's one thing we have found out, is that this community will bend over backwards for one another. If there's a need, people meet it and try to help. And if you have a question, you usually can find an answer. And there's we've just met some people just like the ones we talked about, Eric at OBX and just Chris at OSP and Colton and Courtney. We've just met some people that we would actually say we're not YouTube friends. I think we're friends.
Yeah.
And when things are going on in their life, we want to know about it when things are going on in our life. And then we've got a community outside of that are just people that, I mean, they're just awesome. So, and you found that out with 1,400 subs. You probably have a community, people that you've had an opportunity to meet that are on your channel, and it's just it's a neat thing.
Yeah, it's nice when you can see people. I try to do maybe 3 lives a week, and I have different guests on. I think this week we got Buffalo Picker on, we got Fundamentals of Reselling on this week, and then we got Rise and Grind Picker. So Shane,
wow,
I don't know if you know him. So
Yeah.
we've got a good group of lineup coming in this week. So so let me give me some advice. If someone wanted to start a YouTube channel, can you give us some pointers on that? This ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of YouTube content that will give you great advice on YouTube. So to me, I would go to like YouTube Creators. That is a channel that YouTube puts out, and it'll give you advice on how to start. Just be genuine, be yourself, make content consistently. You're not going to be at 1,000 in a week. Some people are, most people are not. And just understand it's a long journey. It's not a quick jump. And just be yourself, be genuine.
And I would say, don't fall into the rabbit hole of comparing your channel to somebody else's.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Yes, you may have similar content, but don't compare yourself to others. Like you said, be who you are, be genuine, be real. I think people appreciate that. I think they appreciate people who can go onto YouTube and just be real.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't try to that's one of the things on our channel is we don't try to be someone else. We just want to be us and be genuine. And I'm the best Rev Resale there is, and you're the best eBay addicts there is. And I think it's the same way with people that may be starting a channel. You're the best you, so that's all you need to be is you, and do it well.
Yeah, and we've been guilty. You know, Sean said that hole is easy to fall into. It is, because you look at we've said some big channels before. You know, you look at these huge reselling channels and you wonder what you're doing differently. But you know, John, Cincinnati Picker, will tell you, I did this for years before I hit that. You know, before he really got big. And I think learning from then, it's being consistent and just doing you and putting it out there. And then, you know, eventually, I think you can. I think reselling, you can grow as a reseller. I think your channel can do really well.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. So, hey, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I want to catch everybody in the chat. We had Bargain Resales. We had Russell in here. We got Kentucky Fan. We got Amy's Epic Stuff for Sale. And so Amy. I just want to catch everybody in the chat. So, Rev, give me your final thoughts here. So if someone is wanted to get started in reselling, they say, hey, we've heard about Rev Resale making $10,000 a month in sale. We heard about Nikki T, Macari. Like, what do you recommend? Like, what platform do you guys recommend starting, Macari or eBay?
Yeah, I would say eBay. She would say Macari.
House to
yeah, I think the best advice you can be given in reselling is just do it. Yeah. I mean, you're going to learn how to source. You're going to learn how to list. You're going to learn how to ship by doing it. You can watch all the resellers in the world. It can give you some information. It can give you some good pointers. But if you want to try the resale game, you got to start. So I think the best advice can be given is list your first item, and you will probably skyrocket from there. That's what I did, and
find what works for you.
Yeah,
he was in eBay way before I was in reselling. He loves eBay. To me, Macari for me is easier. I like Macari. Macari fits me. So I'd say, you know, of course, soak in some knowledge, but take the knowledge and apply it to what works for you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I would just say, guys, just be consistent. Try to make connections with people. Because I made connections with people like locally, and you know, like I have this one store I go to, and every time I walk in there, I get a 30% off employee discount every time I walk in and walk out of there. But you have to build up relationships with people. So just try to be, you know, just be consistent. Make connections with people, and you know, and just ship your items out on time. And it's okay if you make mistakes along the way. You can learn from mistakes and go from there. Lone Star Picker says, "Where are you comfortable?" And like David said, just do it. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to hang out with us. We really do appreciate you. And I'm a new subscriber, so you'll probably see me in your chat room on Wednesday. So I want to thank you. Yeah, I want to thank both of you guys for hanging out with me today. Like I said, I'm going to catch you guys in the chat. Bargain Resale, Lone Star Picker, Russell, Bearded Veteran. Thanks, Amy's Epic Stuff. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out today. And we're going to let you guys go. Have a great night. eBay Addicts, peace out. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.